Hello, greetings all. Hope you're all well on this wet October, get ahead of myself there, October 14th day. It's horrible outside, isn't it? Hope you've managed to get to a car boot or two. Welcome to Mr. Dig's Deals. I'm Mr. Dig. I'm a part-time eBay reseller, and if you're finding me for the first time, I buy and sell stuff on eBay. I specialise in charity shops at the moment anyway, and this video is a little different because it's a double journey that I've been on since January of this year. In the very start of January of this year, I took two major steps in my life. Both have been a bit stressful, both have had its ups and downs, and both should, at the end of it, have plenty of rewards. What I'm talking about one, I started to learn to drive, which ties in with my reselling journey, which also started in January of this year. One has been slightly better than the other. Reselling has been going great, fine. I'll get to that in a few minutes, but in a roundabout sort of way, the both are intertwined, and the title of this video is Learning to Drive and My Road to Becoming a Better Reseller. To fully understand, let me first explain my driving, and that'll tie in with my reselling. Like I say, January of this year, I took the step of wanting to learn to drive for many reasons. And it is simply one of the most hardest things I have ever had to do or undertake. I was pretty naive, just as I was in my reselling. But as I say, hopefully, give or take a few more months, my driving has got better. But in a few more months' time, when I've got a bit more confidence about myself and I'll get out my bad habits and stuff like that, then all being well, I won't be restricted to just charity shops. Because as you can imagine, just being restricted to charity shops, and mainly the number one source to picking up stock is car boots. Now I am pretty limited to car boots because they're out in the sticks and I don't drive properly yet, and it frustrates me. I think I've got one to one car boot, and I had a lift from somebody, and I did okay. Got what I wanted, and but that's not the point. I need to do this driving for many reasons. One of the reasons, obviously, being reselling, because as soon as I've passed this test, as soon as I've tried to master the theory test, and it's all fell into place, and I've passed, then the chains of charity shops are going to be finally broken. And once I get to those car boots independently by myself in a car, then my whole way of reselling is going to change, and I will be able to go out and source better products, better stock for cheaper prices, other than very dear charity shops. Because as we all know, charity shops are quite dear because they base most of their prices on eBay prices. So as you can imagine, they have somebody, or they look on eBay themselves and have somebody to constantly scour for the prices on there. So as you can imagine, learning to drive and becoming a better reseller, that's my ultimate goal for a few months' time. And like I say, the title of this video is, as I've said, Learning to Drive, My Road to Becoming a Better Reseller. Now, I was naive on both counts when I first started in January, doing both. Because officially, my reselling kicked off this year, January, when I just didn't walk past charity shops. I actually went inside them, because before I started all this proper reselling, I used to just dismiss charity shops, just walk past them, never wanting to go inside. But obviously, as time's gone on, as I'm watching the YouTube videos and watching other people, on their YouTube stations, getting better products and posting the pictures on social media. And it got me thinking a few weeks ago. Now, it didn't dawn on me to begin with that my reselling could be heaps better just by passing my test. I guess what I'm trying to say in a roundabout, stumbly sort of way is, folks, that if you're thinking about one or two of the things I'm talking about, please, you have to try and do it. You have to either do one or the other or both. In my case, it's both. Because to succeed, sometimes in life, you have to fail. And I don't claim that I'm perfect at either driving or reselling yet, because I'm still making mistakes in both, and I'm still learning as I go along. But I personally believe you have to fail to learn. And once you've learned, you get better. And at the end of the day, we all want to get better at things in life, don't we? Let's face it. And like I say, I've been restricted to charity shops, but once some chains of them charity shops have been broken, then there'll be no stopping me at car boots. So basically what I'm telling you is, if you sat there watching this or finding me for the first time, I'd like to keep you updated on how I'm going on with them both. And if you are sitting there, like I say, thinking about, umming and ahhing about wanting to do one of the two things I'm talking about, then try it. Then get yourself off the settee, away from the telly, and try driving. Have a go at it, because it opens up a whole new way of life for you, opens up new doors, gives you more freedom, more independence. You won't have to rely on public transport or your mates for lifts or anything like that. And of course, if you're in my position and you're a reseller and you can't get to car boots because you can't drive, then it's a win-win situation. You're killing two birds with one stone. So never be afraid to fail. Always try something new, and never be afraid to back away from a challenge, because both of them have been a challenge. And I tell you how naive I was when I first got behind the wheel of a car. The car I'm learning in now. I was totally unaware of my surroundings, because I've only ever been a passenger in taxis or other people's cars and stuff like that. So my very first lesson, I will always remember it. I got into this car with the instructor. She drove us out to the middle of nowhere. I was watching her. We parked up in completely next to a bunch of fields in a dark lane, and she turned around and said, "Right, we're going to stop now and you're going to drive us back." I looked at her and I thought, what? And I said to her, and what about thing? I said, "What, now? Are you sure?" And she went, "Yeah, I'm sure." So we swapped seats, and because of the car I'm learning in, it's not an automatic, because you get automatic and you get your other types of cars where it's all manual. I got behind the wheel of this car and I was absolutely flummoxed. I was dumbfounded. I was that naive to the point that I didn't know and didn't understand, and I didn't realise that a car had 3 pedals. Yes, you may laugh at me, but it's the God's honest truth. I only genuinely thought when I first got in behind that wheel of that car that a car had a brake and accelerator. I had no idea it had a clutch. Certainly not a pedal clutch thing. I looked down and I thought, I've only got 2 legs. And crossing my legs and stuff like that's been one of my bad habits. But getting used to the fact that, not knowing that it had three pedals and using 3 pedals was one of the biggest challenges. Plus also my gears as well. Instead of sort of just trying to put my hand on the gear stick and just gently move it to the left or right, up and down, I was struggling, fighting with it. And plus I had to combine the two of the clutch down and the gear change as well. And that comes as a massive shock. But as time's gone on, I've got a little better. I started off with an hour a week. I'm up to an hour and a half a week. I'm travelling on, I've been on dual carriageways. I've been up driving 10 miles, up to 15 miles from where I live, up to Burton-on-Trent, which is not far away from me. But there's still little habits I've got to get out of, like crossing my arms and stuff like that when I'm with the steering wheel, and my awareness of things around me and my awareness times have got to improve. But my driving instructor seems pretty happy with me. I've had a break of 2 weeks because I've been on a holiday at this point. Like I say, it's now October the 14th, and I've had a break of 2 weeks. One I was on holiday, and when I came back she was on holiday as well. So my next driving lesson is on Friday, this Friday coming. But yeah, it's been tough, and not to mention the fact that I've not got my head in the books at all. I've got all the apps on my phones for the theory test, the practice, the road signs, the hazard awareness test, still things that lie ahead of me. And I've just not registered in my head that I've got to study, I've got to do it. And I've had people, I've had my wife, I've had my friends tell me, you know, we'll make you do it, we'll make you do it. Yeah, sure they'll make me do it, but God, it's tough. It really is tough. But I can see the end goal. And that brings me full circle to my reselling. As I say, I'm stuck in charity shops 5-6 days a week, same old stuff. They change it now and again, but not on a regular basis. Don't get me wrong, I've had some good finds, I've had some good sales, and I've had some good pickups. But get my finger out, get my test done and passed, and get myself a car, then the game changes. And Mr. Diggs deals will get better. So don't be afraid to take that chance. Whatever you do, just don't sit there and dismiss it and think you ain't going to be any good at it, because that's been my attitude. And I like to think genuinely I'm a positive guy, because you ask anybody in the Facebook group, the Tap Chat group, and on my YouTube videos, I come over as pretty confident, and I am majority of the time. I can normally look at something and think to myself, yeah, I can do that, I'll have a go at that. But when I first did this, my reselling, I haven't got a clue where it was going to take me. I was like a rabbit in headlights with both. But my reselling's got better, more so than my driving. My driving's getting there, but just do it, guys. You're sitting there thinking, God, should I do it? Can I do it? Should I do it? Never mind about all that. Just do it. See where it takes you. You might surprise yourselves. And who knows what doors it may open up for you, you know what I mean? Because how many times have you sat there and you've not got a car, or you can't drive, you've been looking on Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, or the Facebook selling pages, and you've thought, God, I wish they could deliver that to me, and you've missed out on something great where you could possibly make a good profit on. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed listening to me ramble on about my adventures in reselling and driving. But if you think about it, the two are connected. The two will get results in different ways, but have one particular goal. So for now, I've got my next charity shop haul coming up more or less straight after this one. So if you've liked and have helped in any sort of tips and advice, feel free to ask questions about driving or reselling. Put them down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. Happy reselling, stay safe, stay motivated, be nice to each other and treat people how you want to be treated yourself. Till the next video, cheers guys, thumbs up, subscribe, happy selling.